안녕.
Lovely viewers, gather around because today's story feels like a scene pulled straight out of a blockbuster K-drama. Except this time it's real, it's fresh, and it's something fans never saw coming. Just imagine the excitement in the air as whispers began spreading online, hinting that Lee Minho and Song Hye-kyo, yes, the very power couple fans can't stop rooting for, were spotted slipping away under the radar. And not just slipping away to grab coffee or attend an event, but secretly boarding a private jet together for what insiders are calling a romantic escape that no one was supposed to know about. Yet here we are, lovely viewers, breaking it all down in the most interactive way possible. Picture the scene. It was late in the evening, the kind of quiet night where the airports are calmer and the world feels softer. But at a secluded VIP terminal, something unusual was brewing. A black van with tinted windows rolled up, and before anyone could process what was happening, Lee Minho stepped out, looking effortlessly charming in a simple cap, hoodie, and mask. Classic celebrity disguise mode. Now normally, seeing Minho at a private terminal wouldn't raise many eyebrows. But here's where things get interesting. Not even 5 minutes later, another van, similar in style, equally discreet, pulled in, and stepping out was none other than Song Hye-kyo herself, elegant even under the moonlight, wearing a long coat, sneakers, and a matching mask. And lovely viewers, that one moment sent the world into a quiet frenzy. The question everyone is whispering is simple. Why were they there together? And not just that, why secretly? But as insiders revealed, the two weren't simply catching a flight. They had booked an entire private jet. No staff aside from essential crew, no luggage carts rolling around loudly, no entourage swarming behind them. Just two megastars walking side by side, slipping into their jet as if they'd planned the perfect escape from all the noise, cameras, and expectations that come with being Korea's top icons. Now, imagine being one of the few airport staff who may have seen this. You're going about your work, half asleep, and suddenly you recognize those silhouettes. You watch them walk closely, not holding hands publicly of course, but with a familiarity, a comfort, as if this wasn't their first time doing this. One insider described it perfectly. They moved like two people who have been sharing quiet moments behind the scenes. Lovely viewers, doesn't that just make your heart flutter? Once inside the jet, the lights dimmed, the doors shut, and within minutes, the aircraft lifted into the night sky. The destination. Well, that's where things get even more interesting. Rumors say the jet was headed toward a quiet island retreat. Some say Jeju, others whisper it was somewhere far more private, possibly an international paradise known only to A-list celebrities. But regardless of where they were going, one thing seems obvious. Lee Minho and Song Hye-kyo were seeking a peaceful romantic getaway far from prying eyes. You might be wondering, lovely viewers, what could have prompted such a bold move? Could it be a celebration of something special? A milestone? A rekindling moment? Or maybe just two hearts tired of living under a constant spotlight, trying to find a pocket of peace together? Fans have been speculating non-stop, reading into every tiny detail. The matching caps, the way Minho held the door for her, the way she didn't hesitate to follow him inside the jet, the way their energies sync so naturally. And let's talk about that energy. The chemistry between them has been undeniable ever since fans started pairing them together. But lately, something feels different. Something feels more open, more intentional. Their recent interactions, subtle as they are, have set social media on fire. A glance here, a smile there, a comment liked at the most suspicious time. It all adds fuel to the growing belief that these two are far closer than they let on. And now, this secret private jet escape. If that isn't a sign, what is? Now imagine them mid-flight, away from the world, perhaps sitting together by the window, sharing soft laughter, talking about life, or simply enjoying the calm. Maybe they're planning something for the future. Maybe they're reconnecting after busy schedules kept them apart. Or maybe they're just doing what lovers do, finding warmth in quiet moments when no one else is around. Lovely viewers, can you feel it? That warm, exciting buzz in the air. Fans across the globe are already losing their minds. Some are cheering, imagining wedding bells already ringing. Others are whispering, analyzing clues, and waiting for that one picture, that one video, that one confirmation that everything they've hoped for might finally be unfolding. And you, yes, you watching right now, what do you think happened once they landed? Do you think they walked along the beach together? Do you think they shared dinner under the stars? Do you think this could be a soft launch of something bigger? Or do you think they're still keeping things private for a reason? What we know for sure is that their escape wasn't accidental. It wasn't random. It wasn't casual. Two of the biggest names in Korean entertainment don't just end up on a secret private jet together by coincidence. This getaway was planned, intentional, and deeply personal. And if anything, it shows just how much they treasure their private moments, even more than fans could imagine. If you thought the secret boarding of the private jet was the highlight, then brace yourselves, because what happened after that moment takes this romantic escape to a whole new level. And as always, feel free to imagine, react, and let your hearts melt as we dive even deeper into this unfolding fairy tale that seems too perfect to be real. Yet all signs say otherwise. So let's pick up from that exact second when the jet lifted off into the quiet night sky. The world beneath grew smaller, the lights of the city faded, and inside that luxurious cabin, it was just Lee Minho and Song Hye-kyo. No cameras, no reporters, no interruptions. Lovely viewers, picture the atmosphere. Soft golden lighting, a quiet hum from the engines, and two people finally getting the chance to breathe. Insiders say that Minho chose the jet's layout specifically for privacy. There was a lounge area with a plush sofa, a private dining space, and windows perfectly positioned for viewing the stars. And when Song Hye-kyo walked in, she reportedly paused for a moment, smiling softly at the setup. One source claimed Minho glanced at her with this gentle, knowing look, the kind that says, "I wanted this to be special." And isn't that exactly what we want from a man deeply in love? As they settled into their seats, something sweet happened. Usually, celebrities maintain a certain distance, even in private spaces. But according to whispers, the moment their seatbelts clicked, Hye-kyo relaxed her posture, leaned back, and Minho shifted slightly closer. Not too much, but just enough for their shoulders to touch lightly from time to time. And lovely viewers, if you've ever had that small, quiet moment of closeness with someone you care about, you know how powerful it can be. Now, imagine the conversations. Perhaps they talked about their busy schedules, the pressure of fame, or the endless rumors swirling around them. Or maybe they laughed about recent viral fan edits pairing them as the K-drama couple we deserved all along. What's even sweeter to imagine is the possibility that they opened up about their personal dreams, the kind you share only when you feel safe. Insiders guess that Minho may have brought up his desire to travel more privately, away from chaos, while Hye-kyo might have talked about wanting a slower, quieter life. These two have lived such public lives for so long that a peaceful escape like this probably felt healing. And then comes the romantic imagination our lovely viewers adore. Picture Minho stepping away for a moment and returning with something unexpected. A small dessert, wine, or even a warm blanket to wrap around them both as they watched clouds drift past the window. Song Hye-kyo, elegant and soft-spoken, might have thanked him with a smile that carries 1,000 unspoken emotions. The kind of smile we all know she gives when her heart feels full. Some say that during the flight, Minho pulled out his phone to show her something. A playlist, a funny video, maybe even a vacation plan he had drafted. They leaned in closer, their heads nearly touching, laughing quietly whenever something amused them. And if you listen closely to the heartbeats of fans worldwide, you can still hear the collective swoon over how adorable that moment must have been. Hours passed. Maybe they dozed off for a bit, leaning against each other. Maybe one of them woke up and gently adjusted the other's blanket. Lovely viewers, isn't it beautiful to imagine them caring for each other softly without the pressure of paparazzi waiting outside? When the jet finally started descending, the destination remained a tightly guarded secret. But based on the flight path, many believe it was a lush, private island known for hosting only the elite. A place where phones are banned in certain areas, where staff signs confidentiality agreements, and where couples can walk freely without disguises. Imagine Minho stepping off the jet first, taking a quick look around, making sure the coast was clear, and then reaching back to offer his hand to Hye-kyo as she followed. And here's where the magic truly deepens. Reports say they didn't head to a hotel lobby. Instead, a private car, sleek, quiet, and luxurious, was already waiting on the runway. The driver greeted them politely, loaded their minimal luggage, and drove them down a palm-lined road toward a secluded villa reserved just for them. Meanwhile, the moonlight hit the ocean in a way that made the whole place look like a scene from a romance film. Now imagine them entering the villa. The doors open to reveal warm lighting, candles, and a soft fragrance of fresh flowers. A private chef may have prepared something light for them, maybe a late-night meal of seafood or something sweet, and the table was already set on a terrace overlooking the ocean. If this isn't romantic perfection, lovely viewers, I don't know what is. Some insiders suggest that Minho requested a specific detail, a pathway of lanterns leading from the villa to a tiny lookout point by the beach. And later that night, the couple walked that path together. The waves yawned gently at the shore, the stars shimmered above, and the ocean breeze brushed against them like nature blessing their moment. Perhaps they walked barefoot. Perhaps they held hands when no one was watching. Perhaps they shared a conversation so intimate it could never be repeated. One witness, someone who works at the retreat, claimed that from a distance, they saw the silhouettes of two people sitting quietly by the shore, shoulders touching, heads leaned close. They stayed there for a long, long time. No words, just presence, just connection, just a love story writing itself in real time. Lovely viewers, imagine the emotional relief they felt. Two people who have lived under scrutiny for so many years finally getting the chance to sit side by side with no fear, no pressure, no expectations. Just peace, just each other. As dawn approached, they returned to the villa, probably exhausted but happy. They might have taken photos together just for themselves. Not for fans, not for the media. Just memories for their hearts. Maybe Minho wrapped his arms around her as they watched the sunrise from the balcony. Maybe Haikyo rested her head on his shoulder as birds began singing in the early light. And this, lovely viewers, is only the beginning of what their romantic getaway could hold. Days filled with slow breakfasts, private pool moments, laughter echoing behind closed doors, heartfelt conversations, playful teasing, soft glances, and a closeness that grows deeper with each passing hour. Because when two people board a private jet together, secretly, intentionally, it's never just a trip. It's a moment, a decision, a chapter turning. And something tells us this chapter between Lee Minho and Song Haikyo is going to be unforgettable. Minho and Haikyo were standing together on the balcony of their private villa, their silhouettes gently outlined by the morning sun. But what happens next on this getaway becomes the kind of memory couples treasure for a lifetime. As the sunlight slowly spread across the sky, Song Haikyo turned slightly toward Minho, and in that soft early glow, something shifted. Insiders claim that this was the moment where they truly let their walls fall. After years, yes years, of carrying the weight of their careers, their histories, and the constant watchful eyes of the public, this sunrise gave them something rare. A moment without roles, without expectations, without pressure. Just two human beings breathing in the same gentle morning air. Minho reportedly looked at her with this warmth that you only see from someone who has been longing for peace with the right person. And Haikyo, with that serene smile she's known for, leaned her head slightly on his shoulder as the sky continued painting itself in brighter colors. Can you imagine that quiet moment? The ocean whispering below them, the breeze brushing past like a blessing, and two hearts beating in perfect harmony. After a while, they moved inside for breakfast, and lovely viewers, the sight would melt anyone. The table was set beautifully with tropical fruits, warm pastries, tea, coffee, and even a few Korean dishes that the chef prepared after learning who his special guests were. They sat across from each other at first, exchanging soft smiles, tired from travel but glowing with the joy of escaping together. But as breakfast continued, something subtle happened. Haikyo moved to the seat beside Minho instead of sitting across. A quiet but meaningful gesture, suggesting comfort and closeness. There's something so intimate about two people sharing a meal in quiet laughter, especially away from the world. Maybe they joked about how sneaky they had to be to escape unnoticed. Maybe they talked about how long they had been planning this. Maybe they spoke about their dreams for the future, both personal and shared. Fans who have followed them closely know how thoughtful, emotional, and reflective both stars can be in moments of stillness. And this breakfast likely held conversations that deepened their bond in ways no one but them will ever truly understand. And then comes one of the most heart-fluttering parts of their getaway. After breakfast, Minho supposedly suggested a stroll along the hidden private beach connected directly to the villa. The staff had already prepared it earlier. Fresh towels, shade umbrellas, and even a little wooden walkway so they could walk barefoot without getting sand stuck between their toes too soon. When they stepped onto the beach, Song Hye-kyo reportedly let out a soft laugh, the kind you only hear when someone feels truly happy. The water glimmered under the early sun, waves brushing gently over the sand like nature itself was trying to greet them. Fans love imagining this next part. Minho reaching down to take off his shoes, then pausing and glancing at her with that playful expression he gets whenever he's about to tease. Hye-kyo, being equally playful in her quiet way, did the same, tossing her sandals aside and walking barefoot beside him. Their footsteps aligned in the sand, side by side, leaving two perfectly matched trails behind them, a symbolic picture fans would scream over if it ever leaked. And maybe this is where one of those unforgettable moments happened. Insiders whisper that Minho picked up a seashell, a small white one shaped like a heart, and handed it to her with a shy smile. And Hye-kyo, tucked it safely into her pocket. Lovely viewers, imagine how precious that tiny shell becomes to her. Not because it's valuable, but because love often lives in the smallest gestures. They kept walking until they reached a quiet corner of the beach, so private even the staff kept away unless called. There, they sat on a smooth rock near the water's edge. Hye-kyo let her feet dip into the water while Minho sat close, their hands resting so near that it was only a matter of time before they intertwined. And when they finally did, when their fingers laced together naturally, comfortably, it wasn't dramatic. It wasn't forced. It was soft, real. The kind of moment that doesn't need music because the silence around them becomes its own soundtrack. Rumors say this was the moment they talked about something deep, something personal. Whether it was their past heartbreaks, their hopes for the future, or simply how happy they felt being away from everything, nobody knows. But witnesses say their expressions shifted, full of emotion, gratitude, and a sense of connection that can't be faked. After some time, Minho supposedly guided her back toward the villa, but not before stopping near a patch of wildflowers growing along the path. He picked one, not a bouquet, not anything grand, just one delicate flower, and gently tucked it behind her ear. Lovely viewers, imagine the way she must have looked in that moment. Wind in her hair, sunlight on her skin, a flower gifted by someone who sees her beauty beyond the cameras. Back at the villa, they retreated into the cool shade inside, where the staff had prepared fresh herbal tea. They sat together on a cushioned lounge, sipping quietly. And somewhere in that peace, Hye-kyo rested her hand on Minho's arm, absent-mindedly, naturally, comfortably. That's when you know someone truly feels safe with you. As the hours passed, their getaway grew even more magical. They changed into swimwear and dipped into their private pool, splashing each other like teenagers, laughing freely in a way they rarely do in public. They floated on their backs, staring at the sky, their hands occasionally bumping, their smiles uncontainable.